Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Gamers Do Sports. We're gamers, we're talking sports. With me today, we have, as usual, Ryan in the house with us. How's it going, Ryan?
What's up, AJ? It's a stat guy here. Stat guy is always back, ready to go in charge. Hopefully, I'm on a new platform this week. Yes, last week, halfway through the episode, I'm going to try my cell phone. Well, we're going to do a whole episode through the cell phone, and if it works, rock on.
Attaboy. Not with us this week is Cody, who, he just misses every other week at this point, so we might
He's on assignment.
He's on assignment. Geraldo on assignment. So filling in for Cody this week, we got Tony back. Tony's in the house. What's going on, Tony?
I was so annoying in chat last week. They wanted me to come on the show and be annoying, so here I am.
Hey, it is what it is. We're here this week. We're no show sheet, so we're just going to kind of wing it, as the kids say. This whole show came together in the last 15 minutes, guys, I think.
Oh, yeah. Victory. Sorry, I'm doing my victory dance. Sorry.
Kind of do your victory dance for what?
Number 3 this year, baby.
Number 3? What the hell are you talking about?
Look at my hat. William Byron.
Oh, yeah, he won, didn't he?
Yes, right.
Such a boring winner.
Awesome winner. Great burnout. Great speech. What a great lockout. What a great lockout.
Yeah, so Tony, what's been going on, buddy? You were in the chat with us last week, like you were saying. How's everything been?
Everything's going solid. Obviously, we'll get into the playoffs, but once again, the Maple Sads have come back, and the state of Florida, sons of bitches.
Don't I know
my
that
Maple Leaf
well?
season. So, other than that, just normal life things. Nothing that we would report on a podcast, but normal life stuff. We're kicking it.
Well, here you go, Ryan.
Yeah, what's up?
Tate says backed his way into that win.
Hey, a win is a win. I'll take it.
Tate, good friend of mine. Not so much good friend of the show. I guess you could say good friend of the show, but we're in an iRacing league together. He's been a drafting partner of mine at Super Speedways for the last couple of years. So if you ended up catching that broadcast that we were all sharing last week, and Tony, I know you were in the chat of last week
too.
Yeah,
that was a fun time. Just a little practice race in the NTRL Super Speedway League. Yeah, I think I got that right. So everything's been going good, guys. Good to see you all back here.
They did a really good job, AJ, with that broadcast. They did a really good job how they have everything set up. They're calling out sponsors. They had a hard time pronouncing your last name on it, though, which is understandable. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching it, making some comments in there later on during the event.
Is it really that hard though? Like
I have a hard time.
My last name is, it's Evangelist with an A at the end. It's not hard to pronounce.
Well, I don't have a Smith last name myself, so I get it butchered once in a while.
Yeah. For the record, I did send the invite tonight to Josh and see if he would join in. I haven't heard back from him. Tried calling him a couple times, no answer. So Josh may come in at some point later on.
You might pull the Undertaker and just pop up out of nowhere.
Rest in podcast.
So sports happened this week.
A little bit.
Sports did happen. We have NBA playoffs. We had a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs in round 2. We had some Game 7s in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Where do you guys want to start? Tony, you probably want to start with hockey, don't you?
You bet your ass.
Do I just need to give the floor to you so you can just give your eulogy?
You might as well.
Go ahead, Tony.
All right. Cody, the better sport is NHL playoffs, not your NBA playoffs. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Second off, here's the thing. I call it a eulogy, call it what it is. It is kind of that is sad that we are in the playoffs, the Final Four of the NHL. We'll get into the matchups later, but I thought Toronto could have been in there this year. I honestly thought going into this that Florida was going to give them a series, but I thought Toronto Well, there we go. I'm choking just like they were.
That's all of Canada. That's all of Canada, by the way.
I thought they were going to win in 6. I had the Leafs in 6. It was the only one I got wrong in the second round, my predictions. It just bugged me because, like, here I am thinking that, Florida will punch them in the mouth. They wrote all their momentum against Boston. They're going to run out of gas, and Toronto's going to come through and actually this is it. This is going to be it. And the fact that they could not manufacture more than 2 goals in 5 straight games, they deserve to go home. I mean, it sucks. I love them, but it's frustrating that you pay the core 4, which are 4 offensive players. What the hell just happened to my thing? Okay, that was weird.
Still
I
here.
just blinked up for a black second, like it was the Undertaker.
Whoa!
No, that's just your hatred towards the Leafs right now. It happens.
Yeah.
Brown Chuck.
The thing that I will say is that I'm very just upset that the core 4 that you paid all these guys all this money for, none of them really showed up, especially the main guy, my favorite player, Austin Matthews, 0 goals. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, this is the frustration part. This is what Leaf fans have got to deal with, is the fact that there's an off season where you might have to pay Austin Matthews between rumors $13 to $14 million a year. I'm not paying him $13 to $14 million a year.
No way. No way.
Well, what do you think of Tate's comment here in the chat? Tampa showed Toronto's weaknesses and Florida exploited it perfectly.
I disagree with one part of that, and that is because Tampa was such an elite team, and they've been there and done that. And last year they did the exact same thing. It went 7 games. I do think that Tampa Bay is just a great team as they are. I mean, they went to 3 straight Cup finals, right? So I'm not going to talk any crap about him. Vasilevsky's a fantastic goalie. I just think Tampa ran out of gas, and Toronto took advantage of it this year. Honestly, that's what it was, and it was the perfect first matchup. Unfortunately, here we are, one more series later in Florida again. Sergei Bobrovsky, I said out of frustration, we should have won the Vezina, and I was stupid, and it should have been the Conn Smythe.
We went on for about 10 minutes in that chat.
I honestly, you know what it was?
Is
I was mad. I honestly was mad, and I did not think correctly. No, he's the Conn Smythe front runner right now, going into the Final Four. He's played absolutely outstanding. All the credit to him. And again, Florida's got what Toronto lacks, and this is the one thing I will say before we move on. They got dogs. Toronto has finesse, and their dogs, they don't got much of any. They just, if their game doesn't go right, they just go and try to do the same thing over and over again like it's insanity. No one's in their ears. It's not working, and then going to try to do the same crap again. They get a little physical, and then when the other team gets physical back, they get scared. Florida has guys that can go in there. So did Tampa. So are the guys that are in the Final Four. They've got guys that go in there and do the hard work and actually bust some ass if they need to. Toronto doesn't have that, and that's where they have to address in the offseason. And on top of the goaltending, I love Justin Wohl and what he did, but I don't think they're going to give Justin Wohl the full-time goaltending job. I really don't. So, no.
Hey, Coach McGinty, what do the Sentinels need to get back in this game?
Heart.
Miles and miles of heart.
That's right.
No, Tony, the whole Tampa thing, Tampa ran into the problem of, okay, we've run longer than any team in the last 3 years. We've had to play more games than any team in the last 3 years. We went to 3 straight Cup finals. Like, eventually that fucking catches up to you. That takes a toll on you. They had to get rid of a lot of their good players through these runs because they've been in cap hell for about a year and a half now. I mean, remember the whole thing they did with Kucherov in the finals a couple years ago, how they couldn't bring him back till the playoffs just so they could stay under the cap. So I don't know if Tampa necessarily showed Toronto's weaknesses or Tampa just ran out of gas. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. I think Toronto was just a fresher team going into that series. I laugh because I feel like the second round for Toronto was just an extension of the first round because you won 1 game in the second round.
You know what?
It's just about
just real quick. I will say, and I've heard that I've had a few people discuss this too. Like, if they bowed out and got their ass kicked every game, I'd agree. But the fact that every game was competitive, I don't feel as guilty of thinking that. However, I will say that there was a few very wait, what? Who wasn't ready until the playoffs?
He's talking about Kucherov. Tate says he wasn't ready until the playoffs, asshat. Yeah, okay. You keep telling yourself that. If you look at what would have happened had he been on that roster and how far over the cap they would have been, they would have.
I will have to. I will want to address one big point though, and this is one that it was controversial, which was the Game 5 no goal for Morgan Riley. I'm one of the few Leaf fans that think it was a correct call. I think when they blew the whistle and they showed an overview, the puck was not fully over. It was a hair above the red line. When they blow the whistle, and again, I hate the rule, but the rule as it stood meant it was no goal, and every Leaf fan cried and complained. Go back to that last series with Braden Point, who scored a goal, by the way, and what did they do? They blew the whistle. No Leaf fan mentioned that. And by the way,
I remember that game too.
That cost Tampa the game. So if we're going to go back in the history and say, oh, well, the league hates Toronto, we got the benefit the last series. All right. I'm not trying to be a biased fan. We got a benefit called the exact same way the last series. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. But at the end of the day, Toronto did not have enough dog to get to the conference finals. And this is what it is. And in the offseason, if they keep the core four, and they keep Sheldon Keith, I can go back this next year and have 0.0% chance of winning the Stanley Cup again. They need to change something.
Tony, I'm just going to take Ryan and I out of here, and I just want you to start singing "In the Arms of an Angel."
In the arms of an angel. I can't sing the rest.
That was awful. That was so bad. That was so bad.
It was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna lie to you, bro. I
feel after the viewers are leaving now, as Tony starts to sing.
You know what? If I drew room to go bad, I'm so sorry.
What core four, Tate? What core four?
If I had my way, Marner.
He was a no-show.
About the Leafs?
Yeah.
Marner was an absolute no-show. Guys like Matthew Tkachuk going into the corner after these loose pucks. Marner just dumping it in and not trying to carry it in with speed or anything like that. Marner, don't get me wrong, is a hell of a talent. But in that playoff, he just did not want to get hit. Tavares kept getting beaten and banged all series, right, Tony? Matthew
he played fine, I thought.
Yeah. Bobrovsky's definitely the reason why Florida's moving on. Puck luck too, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes you don't. But like you said, Tony,
sometimes it's the way she goes, sometimes it's the way she goes, but sometimes it's the way she goes.
Exactly. And then so I just find it like everybody was like, oh, like the people outside Maple Leaf Square, and I know this might be somewhere later down the show, but shouldn't we want Florida? Didn't Florida win the President's Trophy last year?
Not one of them.
Did I say Tony's yelling, we want Florida on Xbox? Did I say
Tony was fucking delusional. Over there.
Come on.
We're going to play Boston? Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, we all got looped into it, though. We all got looped into the whole we want Florida. I even said if it was Boston, I would have picked Bruins in 7. With Florida, I picked the Leafs in 6. I mean, honestly, I thought Florida's easier matchup. And I was wrong. But I wasn't chanting it.
I didn't want any of them. I just wanted to go to the golf course already.
Well, we're joining you with another 18.
I mean, hey, you know what? And first off, pardon me, I'm running everything on the show this week because the guy who's supposed to be wearing a Bubba Wallace kitty helmet isn't here this week.
That's why he's not on tonight.
He's being he's being the cuck chair over there. So this is the week in sports, or this week in sports. Let's just move over to Ryan here because now we're all out of the playoffs here. And Ryan, I'm going to take out Tony and I, and you are now going to sing "In the Arms of an Angel."
In the arms of an angel, Pillow Talk style. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but Ken Holland, pull your head out of your ass.
That was worse than me. At least I tried to sing.
Well, I like to do my sad Pillow Talk voice.
Okay, time out. Tate in the comments. I had Florida over Boston, AJ, LMAO. Yeah, I did too. Like, what are we doing here? I told you guys for weeks Boston was going to lose. I told you for months that Boston was going to lose in the first round.
I don't think anybody wants to win the President's Trophy. I mean, Florida last year, Boston this year. Who's going to be next year?
It was cool.
The Leafs. We have a new thing to accomplish. Make the President's Trophy and get. Wait, I already got some. We're going to get first round knocked out again.
Tony, I'm going to let you read.
Trophy. Go for the gold.
Tony, I'm going to let you read this comment by Adam here.
Yeah. No. just
What's wrong with Boone Jenner, Tony?
You know what Boone Jenner brings? That or what you were said, that dog.
Yeah,
the dog. That's what Boone Jenner brings.
You know what? He'll bring some dog. If Marner was a cap dump, sure, but I don't think he's quite a cap dump. I think you need a little something. Now, I did hear some people say Matthews should go to Arizona, but guess what? Tempe just had a little vote last night and voted no on a new stadium, and Arizona Coyotes might not be much longer. So can we put that to rest? He's not going home because home might not be there when he has a chance to go back.
But he could be teamed up with Boone Jenner.
That's right.
I mean, the Boone Matthews Express, choo-choo.
The Boone crew.
I tell you, Boone Jenner somehow finds his way on the Leafs in real life, IRL.
Can Boone Jenner go to the Maple Leafs and just like walk in wearing the Davy Crockett hat?
I'm glad Tony hasn't brought up a conversation him and I had when the second round started. So, what I said to him,
hey, yeah, call me crazy. Leafs Oilers Cup Finals.
Adam
crazy.
Boone for president. Amen. Boone Jenner, the Lord and Savior of Gamers 2 Sports.
I mean, listen, I didn't think the Leafs had a chance. I thought your Oilers had a small chance, but
yeah, Ryan, let's talk about your Oilers.
Let's do it.
Talk about it. Let's give your eulogy now. See, this is how I gave mine last week. Tony gave his already. Yeah. It's your turn.
I don't know where to begin. Ken Holland goes out, gets Matthias Ekholm. Great defenseman, great add-on. Playoff start, Cody Ceci, who had a nice year. Slowest guy on the ice. I just don't. I don't get it. It's frustrating. You have all this talent in the world with McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Evander Kane. Even Warren Fogle was one of the most notable guys on the ice this series versus Vegas. Game 3, don't even get me started. They played it as a regular season game where any team in the NHL could have beaten them. It was pathetic. The effort wasn't there, and that's why they lost in 6. Stuart Skinner, I don't know why Jay Woodcroft kept going back to Stuart Skinner. I know Stuart Skinner had a great rookie year, quote unquote, but didn't you bring in Jack Soup Campbell from Toronto and paid him $5 million to be your goalie to lead you to the promised land, to get you to the Stanley Cup Finals, maybe even hoist a damn thing? But no, you wanted to try to do everything you've done this year. Oh, I'm going to ride Skinner. He's hot. Skinner, he's hot. Guess what? The times that Skinner got pulled, Campbell came in and played great. Soup Campbell, I should say. Soup Campbell came in and played great. And why you didn't start him in Game 6 at home, crowd behind you, full throat, you didn't do it. And that's what cost you. Coaching mistakes cost you. Lack of defense, that cost you too, because anytime somebody would forecheck, Desharnais, who's a rookie defenseman, but he was scared with the puck. You seen it coming. McDavid and Draisaitl can't do it all, although they did most of the year. They didn't get a power play, 5-on-5 hockey against Vegas, especially against Vegas. There was nowhere to be found. Power play was the key for that team. That's why it was the best power play in the league. But it sucks. It's sad. But guess what? I'm still watching Thursday night.
The curse of Gretzky lives on.
Curse of Bettman lives on.
Curse of Mark Messier lives on.
Adam chimes
McDavid,
in.
yeah, right.
Ducks for the whole roster. Man, I wish that team went farther. At least with the Oilers, you could see the flaws with their team. With Toronto, it's harder to tell. Yeah, I mean, the problem with Toronto is the stench is there. Tony, am I wrong? The stench is there. The stench of just pure suck is there.
I will say my biggest problem with the Leafs, and I mentioned it a few times already, is just the killer instinct is not there. It's that whole notion of when things go bad, I don't see a guy on a bench barking. I see Florida getting guys barking. I've seen these teams that have these elite players. Somebody's on the bench, a third or fourth line guy or a defenseman on their asses going, let's go. Let's get our crap going. I just feel like these guys are just, they're there. They go, oh, and they have like this like notion of like, well, and why the hell is this going away again? I don't know what's going on my computer tonight. Apparently, I'm the one with technical problems. Here we go. Anyway, so, I just don't quite understand where the Leafs are going with this future with the core four, and then trying to fill in with bottom line guys because they have grit on these other teams. But a lot of these guys are older, and I loved what Ryan O'Reilly brought. And apparently Ryan O'Reilly's touching free agency, which means he's gone. I would have liked to have him back for one more year.
He is touching free agency?
Yeah,
I thought that was the move right there to get you guys over the hump. And it did the first round anyway.
I mean, yeah, if you want to call over the hump the first round, absolutely. No, but like, here's the thing. I think going forward, and a lot of people have addressed that, that they want to have another head coaching change. Well, Mike Babcock apparently is too tough on these guys.
Coach Mike Babcock.
Yeah. So you're telling me that you're going to bring in a hard-ass coach. Great. And I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But then your guys check out. So then you're going to have to do what? You're going to trade the guys or you're going to fire the head coach again. Like, something has to give on going forward because this whole notion that, well, we lost. We lost. They're, I forget which guy in TSN. I'd have to look it up. Had sat there and said,
exactly. I would agree with Tate what he said. Sorry, Tony, to cut you off.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pat Maroon's
perfect. Pat Maroon.
I mean, I don't like him either, but he is. I don't like the kind of guy for
former Oilers.
Hey, you know what? Real quick, Adam chimes in with even with all the points McDavid and Draisaitl got, they still ended up -1 in the playoffs. There is another person in the house who would love to talk about your team's sadness. Please welcome back to the show, Josh. Josh in the house. What's going on, Josh?
What's happening?
It's like the gang all back together in here.
What's going on? And I'm saying, look at that. Tony's got hair again.
That's right.
Look at that. And he's gone for a couple weeks and he has hair.
Good. It looks good. I thought you would be losing hair, but you're gaining it. So, I mean,
I know.
Positive movement, brother. Positive movement.
I know.
Josh, ironically enough, Josh comes in. There's someone who'd like to spike the football about his hockey team. What's going on, Tristan?
I try to tell you guys back in the Minnesota series that it was going to be it's going to be a Dallas party, man. I'm ready for the parade. I mean, I just hope we beat Vegas now. I'm praying. All right.
Vegas in 6.
Vegas in 4.
I don't know. I'm going to say Stars in 7.
I'm going with Calgary in 3. Just throwing it out there.
Saying the Stars in 7. All right.
Wait a minute. Did the Leafs fake celebration go to Dallas now? Ready for the parade, brother? You still have 2 series to go.
Hey,
what are you praying about?
I'm just saying we're gonna make it. All right. We have a solid team. The only person who I'm mad at right now is old boy Jason. All right. If he sees this, all right, what happened? All right. The best player in the whole team, and you've gone MIA for 2 series now. I don't get it. I don't get it.
And yet here you are in the conference finals.
Yep.
Could be worse.
There is someone in here, Tristan, who'd like to say hello. Tate in the chat says your Stars can win when you actually join the iRacing practice race.
Hey, I fell asleep last night. All right. I had a long day at work.
He had a long time watching Game 7. Leave him the fuck alone.
I thought I was exhausted. Okay. I was exhausted.
I'm so upset that this Kraken didn't win that series.
I'm not. I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Sure.
Hey,
if there's anybody in this room that is probably tired, it's probably Tony from all the sleep he's lost with the collapse of his team yet again.
No, you know what? Nope. You missed the first part of it. I had my little eulogy.
Do we need to go back to the Arms of an Angel?
Yep,
singing?
I sang my song. I'm all right. I'm a little frustrated. This more sad. I'm more frustrated than sad.
I don't get it, Tony.
No.
I don't get it. You guys are probably one of the most talented teams in the league, and you just—that's
your first problem. No, that is your first problem. Please do not put us. No, Do not put us in. No, this is the problem. Don't say that. That's not true. You
Look at
guys
the
always
staff.
say this. All outsiders. Oh my God, Toronto has all this talent. You guys are
You
cup
do.
contenders. This is your first problem. Don't
You do.
stop. Don't ever put us in cup contenders.
saying it.
That is
Tristan,
your
keep
first
saying it.
problem.
Keep saying it.
It's a very talented team, and I don't understand it. I don't.
Oh,
Doesn't
you
make
don't
any
understand
sense.
how this team, with all this pressure, chokes and chokes and chokes and chokes. You don't understand. Of
I
course.
do because I'm a Cowboys fan, and it happens every. It happens
Fair.
every year.
Boy,
Yeah.
there's something you
Dad.
just don't admit in here. and it's-
Oh
I
God!
understand it.
Okay,
Our-
that is fair with the cowboy comment. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But again, I
He
sorry. The
puts his
difference
head
is
down.
I don't ever
He
hear
puts his head down to show the logo on his hat.
Yeah.
No, I was,
No.
I was trying to make sure I was pushing the right button on my car. I'm sorry. I'm not
No, what I was gonna say is I don't want to be rude, but I don't hear anybody saying the Cowboys had all this talent and blew a chance at the Super Bowl. You guys never, unless the media tells you.
Neither of you
First
guys.
round and done.
What the fuck are
Well,
you
that's the
talking
thing.
about?
I'm a very
Outsiders.
realistic Cowboys fan, though. That's
Listen, you guys are a nice team. If you guys were just a nice team, no one would complain. But you guys are America's team,
A nice
shoved down our
team?
throats 8 times
A
a year in
nice
prime
team.
time.
A nice team. What the fuck is a nice team?
Those are some nice boys.
10
Those are
win
some
team,
good
make
lads.
the playoffs, get all, put
Hey.
yourself on TV, get embarrassed. I mean, nice
Hey, Josh.
team.
Josh, old sport, nice football team you got there.
yep.
Good form, sir.
Solid
Good
football
form.
team, there, mate.
Jolly good phone.
Yeah.
Let's have a go of it.
Tristan, you've got some comments up here. Adam, you just need Pavelski to get knocked out again, then you'll get 4 goals. It's a viable strategy.
Hey,
Good start. Yeah, it's a good
hey,
start.
I was so disappointed that they did not actually win that game. Because that man put the team on his back and scored every goal that night. You don't know how mad I was when I saw
That's a good
that
point. They
missed
did lose
overtime.
that
We
game.
lost. Yes.
Yeah, and Draisaitl went out the next night too and scored 4, and Edmonton lost too. So
Yeah.
I know it's like with the 4 goals.
Tate wanted to know what are Jason Robertson's stats for the playoffs, and Adam said 2 goals, 10 helpers, 13 games played.
It's
10
kinda the
assists
same-
ain't no slouch, bro.
Right.
But he's a goal scorer. 2 goals is not going to cut it.
That's 12
I will
fucking
say, though-
points in a 6-game series?
I will say though, old boy Hintz has been showing
7-game
out.
series.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with Hintz.
Hey, Tristan, you know how good my team is? Our core 4. Do you know how many goals they scored in the second round?
Oh, does it rhyme
I
with
feel like 3.
0? Ugh.
Actually, Willie scored 1 in game 5, but 1 goal for 4 players you're paying the
Willie
top money
Nylander
for.
is a core 4 player.
Well, I'm
so
just
crazy to
saying.
me.
William Nylander is.
I hope I never see the point where I have to say Willie Nylander is one of my core 4 players.
He had a really good year, actually.
He was the most noticeable player in that Florida series.
That's not saying much because they won 1 game, Ryan.
I'm just saying. If you watch the games, I know Tony did. Who was the most noticeable player for your Leafs?
I will say though,
Keith-
that Florida
Keith
game
from
was very
Alberta.
dangerous.
Could I also? Morgan Riley was the best player. Surprisingly, I mean, I will give Morgan Riley his due. He was the best player of that series. The core 4 wise, it was Nylander. But again, this is where I respect what Tristan's saying, and I appreciate him saying that we have a talented team.
You
But
do.
when everybody says you have all this talent, you're a cup contender, you just stop. Don't ever say cup contender in Maple Leafs because it never happens. There's always a roadblock every time.
And then big shout out to Josh's Blackhawks on Connor
I'm,
Bedard.
I'm glad you brought that up, Tristan. I'm
I
was
so
very
glad you
happy
brought
for
that
you.
up.
I was
Bring
trying
on.
to find out how to get out of the room so I could change my name to We Got Connor Bernard, just so he had to stare at it for the rest of the
I'm
podcast.
happy.
Tristan,
I mean,
Tristan,
I think it's going to be a good thing with him. I mean,
thank you for bringing that up. Tony, how do you feel about the Chicago Blackhawks getting the 1st overall pick?
Are we allowed to swear on this or no?
I've said fuck like 3 times now.
Fuck
There's
your
4.
goddamn team. There, I've said it once. I've said it once. I'm good. I just nope. I'm
I'm
sorry. The Dirty Hawks got their player. Congratulations to all the fans. Screw them. I don't like them. Whatever.
Dirty Hawks
I mean,
is a
if you had-
speculation and not a fact, and we shouldn't be putting that kind of information out on a podcast that's being seen by influential fans.
Oh,
Good
well.
sir.
Hey,
You know
breaking news. Superstar Billy Graham passes away.
Oh,
Yep,
no.
I saw that.
Rest in peace.
The original blonde hair wrestler back in the 70s.
Well, if we're on that tip, then let's give a shout out to Doyle Brunson, who passed
Oh,
away.
yeah.
Poker.
Yep, absolutely. Poker
Um,
legend. Yeah. Well, on a lighter note, fuck the Blackhawks. Anyway.
Gudis,
That's
future
incredibly
Hart Trophy winner. Is it going to be a trend now that the Leafs will melt half their roster every season in the stretch for success? Probably. Very true.
Adam, thank you for the comment. I'm gonna just be honest here. I think the problem is the Leafs have to change coaches. I like Sheldon Keefe. I really do. This is not a knock on him, but he, again, does not know when to push the buttons on these guys. He lets them play their game, but they're a finesse team. When you're a finesse team, you have to push buttons, and you don't push buttons. You let them do the same thing over and over again, and you're getting the same results. You would think after the first few games how they were trying to put the offense together against Grabowski, they would keep that kind of pressure on it, and instead, they tried the same thing, and Florida adjusted. Florida wouldn't make sure they had their adjustments, and you just tried the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it cost them. So, yeah, I mean, half the roster might be tough, but at least a third of it. And, yeah, the leader, I mean, that's the thing. Tavares is – he's a nice
bring my purse off the
captain, but he's not a vocal leader. He's not. He's just trying to lead by example guy. And I don't mind Tavares. And he is a captain-esque player, but – no, you do need a true leader. I don't care if throw an A on like a third or fourth line guy and let him go out there and bark and make sure to get that guy out there and
You need
kick
that
some
dog.
ass.
You need that
Yeah, the
dog.
dog.
He ain't got that dog in him. That's what the problem is.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
does not have that dog in him.
That's what I'm saying, man. You can have all the
The
talent
dog
you
ain't
want when
there.
it comes to scoring, but if you don't have like grit guys, like third or fourth line grit guys, you're not going to win the cup. You have to have a mix of everything to win the Stanley Cup.
If you had the prime of Patrick Kane and then Jonathan Tays and then throw in Bedard, that team would be disgusting. I mean, 100%, that team would be,
Well, I mean, you're
amazing.
Listen, I
Thank
don't
God
live
the
in a mix-up.
camera is only from chest up on me with you saying that, because I got some feelings in places right there with that.
I'm just saying, man.
Wow. Josh, can you break it down one more time about how the Blackhawks got Connor Bedard?
Dude, why do I have to break it down? Tony knows it.
Break it
was
down.
fate. It was fate.
It was
They
fate.
wanted him here. We're a better market than any other team that was available for that. And everybody always talks about fate. Well, if you believe in love at first sight, I believe in fate of the best generational player going to the one team that really just chaps your ass. And I'm not going to lie, that right there, that little nugget right there is all I'm going to need this winter to keep warm. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm like a bear in hibernation. I could just feast on
like a
that
dog in
all winter. This is great. The look of disgust on your face and knowing that you're not looking in a mirror to get that, that's all I need, buddy. All
Who
I
else
need.
is on that team still, though?
Well done.
No clue. That's how bad the Hawks are.
Really?
No clue.
Josh
That's the
hasn't
thing.
given a shit about the Hawks since their last playoff run.
This is true. My fandom died when I found out that Kaner was gone and Taves was stepping away. That was like the last of it. And then just when I think, it can't get any worse and it's going to be a long, long bad path of sucking years, kind of like what the Maple Leafs have done for generations. We had to wait a really long time to get another generational talent on our team. I mean, it was like forever. It was like a year or so or something like that.
You know what? I don't like your trolling right now, and I know what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it. And you know what?
What, good sir?
Wait, I hate this. This is even a topic that gets brought up. Wait a minute. What's that?
I'm confused. What Tate?
Yeah, what
what's
topic?
the topic?
I'm very confused. No,
I love hearing Josh spike the football and Tony every time.
Here is my complaint, and I've said it to you guys off camera sometimes. This is not even just a thing. It's the Cow Beach thing was pissed me off. It is what it is. We can talk about it to whatever. That's whatever. It's the fact that these Blackhawk fans, okay? Oh, Chicago being the better market. Oh, okay. Well, I'll let Josh get into that in a second.
I think it is the better market over Toronto.
I mean, it's established a winning franchise that, you really got to get behind.
Toronto is the Mecca of hockey.
Oh, the Mecca.
The Mecca.
Oh, the
The
Mecca.
problem is we don't win, but we're the Mecca. We are the hockey city, except we just never win.
No. You're not the hockey. True. You're not the hockey city. You're just the city that hockey calls. Yeah, that. You're just the city that hockey calls when they get a call wrong. That's all you are.
Hey, oh, please. I'm sorry. Let's just all cry in the corner for your bees over there.
Tate agrees. Chicago's a better hockey market.
All right.
By far.
Here's what I was going to say about...
Hang on. Maybe not better hockey market. Better sports market, though. I give it that.
American-wise, yes.
That's really not, keeping the bar too high. And
Toronto's better than Chicago when it comes to the hockey market. We're just arguing the spade there. But
but that's the thing. I feel like that's like low-hanging fruit to say that we're better than Toronto. Wow, congratulations. High five yourself in a field. Like, that's not really, measuring the bar. Okay.
Who's got better fans?
Hey, time out, Tate.
Hold on.
Time out, Tate.
Though.
And while we're on the subject of low-hanging fruit and a low bar of measure, where's Cody?
He's
not here this week. Back to Tate.
He went to go find the cuck chair.
Toronto fans are cunts.
God.
Excuse me, not all of us are cunts, okay? I would like to just point something out. Speaking of fans, this is supposed to be my point, and we keep on getting interrupted, all right? And then it's these Blackhawk fans that come out of the woodwork because you finally got Connor Bedard again and go, ooh, yay, we finally got the guy again, so we're going to sell $2 million worth of tickets, and all of a sudden your fandom comes back because you got one dude.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they're supposed to applaud you Blackhawk fans.
He pulled out a Bedard jersey. He's already got a custom Connor Bedard in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God, he gets a Bedard thing. I'm going to cry,
Tate,
okay?
I'm leaving your comment here the rest of the show, Tate.
So
it's not fair.
Oh.
It's not fair. We're not all cunts. Here's the thing, all right?
But FBA wanted Florida.
I like all the NHL conversation here. Adam, how do you all think the NHL executives reacted to these Final Four teams, one expansion team and 3 Southern teams? I think that, market for viewers might be lower, but I like the opportunity.
I love that. I love that comment because of one thing. I just don't understand. With the 4 teams that are left.
Nice hat, Josh.
Thank you, sir.
There
you go.
I was wondering what that is.
Out of the 4 teams that are left, I do think it brings an element to like something new. However, if you're a hardcore hockey fan, are we excited about any of these 4 teams? Are we going, man, I want X team to win? I don't have that feeling this year.
That's why it's such a good thing that Bernard went to the Blackhawks, because we'll bring legitimacy and intrigue and excitement back into hockey, past the first round where you seem to find yourself.
I mean, we finally did after 19 years. We got another 19 to brew up here, but that's.
I will say though, you make it out of the first round.
Yep.
And it kind of seems like you didn't make it out of the first round.
That was my whole point earlier. That was my whole argument.
We had 5 competitive games. Like, it wasn't a total.
But you got gentlemen swept. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I mean,
it's just. I don't
know. Like
it's like I said, you guys are very talented, and that I don't get it.
Who's Adam Pride with the
problem
Cavs
with
Warriors for 20 years straight? When has the Cavs been relevant towards the Warriors?
No,
since
he's
LeBron
referring
left?
back to when that's all that would be on TV and in the finals.
Like the Red Wing Prime days.
And by the way, he just complimented you, so put him back in your good graces.
Oh, he's always in my good graces, but I'm sitting there going like, Cleveland is like still like kind of begging for change at this point, and he said 20 years of like, Cavs Warriors. That would
No, I know what
they
he
were
meant.
successful.
No, I knew what he meant. I knew what he meant. Is he want me to be on the call because he wants to call me a cunt? Fine, whatever. Anyway. Like, I don't know what else to say on this matter. All right, now all of us are cunts. Listen, I'm arguing with fans.
I'm
not
not.
lying.
No, I'd agree. I'd agree with Tate on that one about you.
I'm a good sport right here.
Anyways,
okay?
no,
I'm a
go
dedicated
ahead.
Blackhawk fan that has absolutely no idea who else is on the team at the moment.
You were there
Josh
when
is that
Moses-
fan
Wait a
that
minute,
shows up
wait a
game
minute.
one and goes, "Hey, there's that guy that pisses Tony off." All right, I'm changing it back to a movie.
Wait a minute. Josh was there for Marion Host's jersey retirement. You can't say shit.
Yeah, I was.
Great point.
Yes, I was.
So
Yeah.
He had blood clots in his lungs, right?
I thought it was something other than that, but I think you might be right. I think it was something more than that. Some kind of like skin condition or something.
Yeah.
you can actually get the Lightning stuff, Tate, on clearance at your local sporting goods store because they're out of the playoffs, along with the Bruins, the Oilers, the Leafs, the Blackhawks. Unfortunately, not the Stars, not yet.
Oilers are. I don't know what's going on with them either. I mean, that's a really good team too. I don't get it.
It's the curse
Defense
of
and
Canada,
goaltending.
the curse of Wayne
Defense.
Gretzky.
Defense goaltending.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. I mean,
At this point, that's what I'm going to
When
do.
was the
because-
last time
mean-
there were no Canadian teams in the playoffs?
Ever, like at all, ever in the playoffs? Like there was not a Canadian team who made
Yeah.
the playoffs?
No, like that ones that had
could-
made the playoffs but were out this quick. Or
Well,
make it.
I was gonna
Playoff.
say because like the Bruins beat Vancouver in 2011. I think that was the last time a Canadian team made the finals, right?
30.
Yes.
No, it's been
93.
30 years, 29 seasons to the lockout since a Canadian team won the cup.
Who was that team?
The
Who was that team?
Go, what's that?
Who was that team?
Montreal over the LA Kings. It should have been Toronto, but
Oh wow!
God, you know what he kind of gives me the vibe of is the the calling card for Toronto. Should have been Toronto. Yeah, well, it fucking isn't.
all right, Tate, you know what? Here's the thing. I can understand that because I'm sure there are Leaf fans that are delusional as shit. And I understand that. I'm telling you, there are people that I deal with that say that Connor Bedard wants to be in Toronto and we're going to get the first overall pick. I
Thank
swear
you,
to God,
Adam.
it's so stupid. Like there's no logical sense on talking to these people. So like, I get it. If you're going to these Tampa games and hearing Toronto fans acting like they're high and mighty, I mean, Tristan put it earlier. It's the Dallas Cowboys of hockey. We think we're better than what we are. There's a lot of very delusional fans. I mean, there's no.
Why
other way
don't
to
you
put
just
it.
admit what you are? You're choke
Overrated
artists.
fan
That's
base?
all you are.
Yes.
You're just
I-
choke artists. That's what you
We
are
are.
every year.
And you guys have all known me thank you again. And we've all known me in this. A lot of you guys have known me for 10, 15 years, except for Tristan, who I just met, a good dude. But a lot of you have known me for a long time. I've never once said the Leafs would win the cup. Not
So,
once.
One last hockey point, and then we're gonna get off the hockey
Aw.
portion. Adam said 1969 and 1970 is the last time no Canadian teams were in the playoffs, and then Adam said the league only had two teams back then, the Leafs and the Canadians. So does it really count?
The Leafs choking. It's got to be in the conversation.
And the Leafs show. Wait, when was your last cup?
67 of 1960.
Wow, it wasn't even the last 2 years that there were no. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I've been alive for 40 years, never seen him in the cup finals, seen him in the conference
put that
finals
back
5
up there.
times. I hate you.
We're gonna move on to basketball. Tristan, do you want to stay around?
I'm fine with that. I mean,
Now that he said
Look at
that,
my
kick
car.
his ass out.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
absolutely.
chilling.
Next
good.
section.
Thanks for
booty.
coming.
No.
I'm kidding.
I'm back. Anyway.
All right, basketball.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Is he like the stand-in Howard from Big Bang? Whenever Cody's not around, we just kind of sub him in as the steward.
I'm fine with that. If y'all want me to be that, I'll be that, man. I can talk sports all day long if
Hey.
you want me to.
Hey, no, dude.
Adam
It's
with
good
the
to have
stats,
you.
with the history right now. It actually came down to the final game for the Habs. All they had to do was score 5 goals against Chicago, and they'd win the tiebreaker with the Rangers.
Wow.
Imagine back then the tiebreaker had to be most goals. Holy
Well
shit.
done, Adam. That was a nice
Yeah.
little stat.
Killing it.
That guy, Adam, I like it.
Yeah, Ryan, filling your job in for you here.
I was going to say,
I like it. I
Ryan,
like
you've been
it.
replaced.
I'm impressed.
Next week it's the other guy.
I'm impressed.
Stop it!
Comment of the night.
Damn
That is the
it.
comment of the night. Oh, by the way, your quick playoff recap: Stars, Golden Knights, Panthers, Hurricanes,
They're Friday.
Battle of the South.
Thursday, game 1, East final.
Vegas, Florida. There's my pick.
Let's talk some basketball, and let's talk some potential poo-pooing on LeBron. Anybody up for that type of playoff talk? Oh, Josh is waving his hand. Tristan's smiling. Tony looks baffled, and Ryan just sitting there looking like a Walter White who fell on hard time.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen that show.
He does
So.
fall on hard times.
He
in the
just
show, though,
he
so
looks like an
sorry.
angry bearded thumb right now.
I understand Tristan, but
The
think that
7
why I
seed
said
down
that.
against the number 1 seed.
You play like the Lakers are not as good as everybody is putting them out to be. They are not as good.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I quasi want to cheer for LA just to see how smug Russell Westbrook will be if he gets a ring from being on the team. Because you know that
Brick
cocky
that ring
bastard. Oh, Westbrook. And that's the name they should put on the side of it. Russell
So-
Westbrook.
The Lakers beat the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were without Ja Morant for that series, right?
Yeah,
Oh, he
was
played.
flexing on
Did he
Instagram.
play well? Yeah. That's a couple charges on Instagram. You know,
He's all
Um,
bang bang. What's the hang?
they played the worst Warriors team in 10 years and beat them in 6 games. Now they're going to play against the Nuggets, which the Nuggets already are up 1-0. Everyone's talking about LeBron like, oh, he's still all that. Like, oh, no, he's fucking not.
What about Jokic getting fucking 10 rebounds in the first 6 minutes of the game or something like that?
Well, Denver's for real.
Yeah.
There you go. Jokic got robbed.
That's what Big Baby's Big Baby said on Pardon the Interruption yesterday. Is that this is not the team where you slack off and you can get around them. This team's going to put the Lakers in their place.
I think Denver's going to win that series. Personally, to me, I think Denver's going to win that series. I think it wouldn't be hard for Ryan, who's a big LeBron fan, to fathom that Denver could win that series. Ryan, is this Lakers team as good as everybody says they are?
No, they're not. It's LeBron and AD. Couple, Schroeder and D'Angelo Russell, but D'Angelo Russell hasn't done jack. So it's LeBron and AD. AD, I mean, if his head's on straight.
Yeah, but do you notice something about this year's LeBron? No one's ring chasing with him. Like when he was in Miami and when he was in Cleveland, and even some of the time in LA, like old veteran stars chasing rings would jump on that team for a league minimum to try to go after a ring. No one's doing that with him. That's got to tell you something.
Yeah, and no one has done that for a couple years now, really.
Yeah.
Since they were in the bubble, right? That was probably the last time. Who joined that team in the bubble when they won that title?
Dwight Howard, I remember that one.
He's playing.
Yeah, but I mean,
Was
Dwight
it
Howard
Rajon
was-
Rondo, or am I imagining things?
Yeah, Rondo, I thought was part of
Yeah.
that
Was
team.
Rondo
Yep.
on that team?
Yeah, he's on that team.
I think, yeah.
But no one's calling, man. No one. Past couple years, you're right, AJ. That's got to say something.
I think LeBron is only still playing just so he can play with his kid. Honestly, that's
Dude, Bronny's one and done at USC.
I said that. As soon as he's like out of college, I mean, I feel like as soon as he gets picked up, his dad's gonna go play with him, and then if they get a ring, he's done. I mean, I've been calling that since he was like 35, I think. I mean, he's been playing for a while, and it makes sense.
You guys brought up Rondo. Do you want to know what his stats were in 1920?
2019.
Like the COVID year, the
Yes.
bubble.
It felt like 1920 with how little stuff we could do, but go ahead.
He was off the bench, right?
He was off the bench, started 3 games, 7 points a game, but off the bench averaged 20 minutes a game, 20 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
He was the first guy off the bench guy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've always been under the impression that the bench wins you the finals. Like your starting 5 usually gets you to the finals, but when you get into those deep games, the bench is where you find out the true depth of a team and where they can go and what they really can do.
Could I
LeBron
throw in my
James.
2 cents about this since I've been kind of quiet?
Oh, good.
Greatest old man season in the history of the NBA, LeBron James this season. This has been the most impressive season for a guy this deep into his career. I'm sorry, but this guy's year 20 and he's putting up these stats with this Laker team and the last 4 teams left. That is damn impressive.
Hey,
It really is.
That's for Dirk.
AJ,
For
what?
that year.
you ever notice that that's what Tony says every year about LeBron? At this age, putting up these numbers, this is just spectacular.
It's like
You
a
say it
Paul
every
Brown
year with
show.
LeBron.
The truth? I mean, what is wrong? Am I saying that's wrong? What am I saying that's wrong?
I'm just saying it's becoming your battle cry. Ryan, you should buy him a LeBron James jersey.
I need to.
Or yeah,
You gotta
And
think
And
of
you
the-
guys
I mean,
saying
you're a
Jokic playing
closet
ball.
LeBron fan.
Hey, y'all say Jokic is finally playing ball, and I like Jokic, but about damn time. He's a 2-time MVP. How about he shows up and actually wins a title?
He's 27 years old, for fuck's sake. And he's putting up better numbers than LeBron is this playoff. Like, granted, it's an age difference. Cool.
Yes!
But you want to
It's a
sit
huge
here
difference.
and just guzzle like he's doing the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Like my
No,
And
but
then
for
he-
year 20, it's easily
And he's
can,
the
can you
age,
name
it
me
is.
another guy in year 20 in the NBA that could put up those numbers that he's putting up?
The guy came in the
Brian
league when he was
Scalabrine.
fucking 18, Tony. He's not 80 out there.
Okay, but he's still put on how many miles between the regular season and playoffs? He's got about 20 some odd seasons.
He
of
takes
that-
off
of the
half the regular freaking season.
Oh, I don't.
That's on the new commissioner. That's on Silver
Yeah, but
about
also
this load
he's been
management.
yes, he's getting banged up more. I totally understand that. But I'm saying is
Slurp,
he has been
slurp,
very
slurp.
impressive. He's been very impressive of how this team and again, we all said this Laker team is not good. Denver should win the series. I thought Golden State should have won the last series, but they seem to find a way to continue to win. And if they make the NBA Finals and they do beat Denver, I asked you this when I guessed a few weeks ago, right? I said, would any of this change you guys' opinion about LeBron James? You guys all that don't like him said no. I said he would be number 2 all time in my list.
What's it about not liking him? I don't hate the guy. I hate the guy as a Celtics fan.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
I don't hate him. I don't have this hatred for him where I think, oh, he's such a bad player. He's overrated.
You're not.
But the way some of you talk about him, it's like, oh my God, every time he takes a breath, you want to bottle it up and sell it on eBay for $250,000. I mean,
No.
good God.
It's greatness, though. We don't get to
Oh,
witness these generational
Jesus.
talents that much. And that's what he is.
You don't witness these generational talents that much. You don't.
No.
You're in a league right now with LeBron, Jokic, Curry. I mean, what's that? Kobe
Curry,
was
yes.
in the league.
Don't
Yeah,
put Jokic in
nice.
that argument yet. Not yet.
Two-time MVP.
So is Steve Nash. You think he's a generational talent?
Giannis. I mean, he's got a championship.
Giannis, good. Yes, Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is great. I think he's on his way of being that. I just don't know.
There
if
are
he's-
more stars in the NBA today than there was when Jordan, Kobe were coming up.
I've heard that. I've heard that discussion too, and I think it just defines the era of what we are. My only pushback on that is that
your only pushback. Here we go.
no. Well, here, okay, hold on, Josh.
Don't worry,
and
Josh.
you would
I'm going
agree
to
with me on
shit all
this.
over it. So let him say
No,
it.
Josh would agree with me on
Okay,
this.
cool.
It has nothing to do with the fact that there's not more talent. It's the way the game is played. A lot of lack of defense. A lot of guys just standing around waiting for a shot. A lot of these different kind of players are not putting up. How do I want to sum this up? Like back in the 90s and 2000s, every game meant something. I don't feel like every game means something to these guys.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of hurts their legacy a little bit.
Tony.
Is
I
that
want to touch on the
all
point that
sports?
Tony said.
45% of these teams are all-star rosters. 45%.
That might be high. I'd go.
Oh my God! It's just for the sake of fucking argument, Tony.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. We're having a discussion. I'm discussing with you back. I'm
40.
having
Let's
a
just
discussion.
okay. Well, the 30% of the teams are all-star caliber teams. Every team has one or two superstars that make the playoffs every year. Yes or no? At least. At least.
Most of the time,
course.
3.
When Jordan was dominating, how many teams had superstars that made the playoffs?
Quite
How
a
many?
few.
Quite a few. But
Quite a few.
did they have one or multiple superstars on those teams?
There was always one, and then a like a bat or Robin to someone's Batman.
Correct.
You know, like
So, I guess what I'm getting at here is the talent today, and in summary, the talent today in these playoffs today is a tenthfold better than the talent in the playoffs back then. Jordan's the greatest. Jordan's the greatest to ever touch a basketball, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But today, the talent is better. You want to know why LeBron doesn't win all these titles? Look at the talent that's in the league. There are better players around him. So you don't need to sit here year in, year out, and tell me how great the guy is. I really don't give a shit what you think, because I could give you 2 players that have a better season than LeBron did, at least. Year in, year out. Sure, it's impressive he's old. He does this. So did Brady, but everyone wanted him to retire and get out of the league. Right? Like, what are we doing?
I think that was more because we were so tired of Brady. I mean, and
But why
I
is
feel
that?
like that's he won everything.
Okay.
It's greatness fatigue.
How many
It's a
championships does
legacy
LeBron
fatigue.
have?
what's the old Batman saying?
I mean, he's got. I will say though, he does have. I mean, a pretty impressive. Like everything as a whole is impressive with him. Also, but that's just me.
I agree, Adam.
It is a totally different play style, and the 3 wasn't as prominent back then as it is today.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
going
what the
back to
game
this,
is now.
you
That's what
have
the game-
guys who are just nailing threes from half court, like effortlessly. And that's, Steph Curry has modeled that.
And now you got Al Horford shooting threes.
Al
You got-
Horford, uncontested threes. They
Yeah,
just leave him wide
exactly.
open for no reason.
Well, I was going to say back to the Pistons teams with Tay, Ben, Sheet. They had a streak where they held the opponents under 70 points. They went out to go into work. Pistons.
I
Tony
agree
remembers
with
them
that.
going.
Of course.
They were going out there. They were playing defense. That like you guys were saying, they don't play defense now. Only when the playoffs happen is when they start to play defense. And well, it doesn't really show in this game tonight, but it's like 64-55 right now.
I mean, in the midst of all this, go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
No, go ahead, AJ. That was my point.
I was just going to say, in the midst of all this, I mean, Tate really nailed it home earlier tonight. Toronto fans are cunts.
I'll bet you.
We're always going to go back to that. I do say that. I mean, they don't play any type of. I mean, any type of like the solid defense anymore. I mean, you got some guys putting up a hand, but that's it. I mean, even the playoffs, it seems like it's like somebody block it. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
What
feel
kills
like-
modern NBA for me is just the flopping.
Yes.
Oh.
Like, and I was watching it, so like this
Well,
is a
it's
great
not-
transition to the Game 7 Boston Philadelphia. There was a point where I think Harden got tripped up or stepped on Tatum's foot and just flew back like Tatum had pushed him down.
I did
And
see that.
he stepped on Tatum's foot. Like Tatum didn't even touch him in any way, shape, or
Can
form.
I add to that? AJ?
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not so much excuse me, it's not so much the flopping, because you see that once or twice a game, or a few more this era. But no, my issue is the one that anytime anybody takes a shot, they look at the ref like they missed a foul, and that is LeBron James written all over it.
He's bad
Everybody-
at that. I admit that. He's bad at that. And he's bad at like crying
Every
about
shot.
calls. I admit that. I cannot defend him on that. He's pretty bad with that stuff. 100%.
I mean, it's like getting to a point where it just gets stupid. It's like, give me a break. Get back on defense. You got to sit there for a second and have your arms out with this look on your face like you missed a foul. No, he didn't. You missed a shot. It's just too many crybabies. Well.
Yeah.
Also,
could we say something too, NBA wise, that the most overrated superstar in the NBA is James Harden? Could we just put that out there?
I wouldn't even say he's a superstar anymore. Honestly,
some people do. I mean, I guess it just depends on who you ask. I just think the guy always is a choke artist. Talk about choke artists. Talk about a guy who never wins anything.
Ronaldo or Braun.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Braun is worse. Braun is worse.
I don't watch a ton of Ronaldo unless it's World Cup or big games.
The
So
soccer
Ronaldo is
on
known
somebody
for
they're flying to the ground.
For always looking at the ref with this shitty look on his face, but I don't know. You're still comparing two different sports, two different styles.
Adam Dwight Howard is the GOAT. Finished with 84 points, 37 rebounds, 9 assists, and 14 blocks in time.
Legend.
I mean,
he's hitting threes over in Taiwan too. He's hitting threes over there too. He was in the 3-point contest.
That's
and they're
what
all
happens
30.
when you're playing against guys that are 5'1".
Yeah.
Go out and dominate. Take it to the hole.
So nervous. I was wanting to say something, but then Josh just comes right in.
Come on, man. Have you watched any of the games? He towers over the entire arena.
He is the arena.
Seriously.
Yeah.
If they need a light change somewhere, he just shows up.
Not even needing a ladder.
Yeah. And I remember watching, I was like, well, that's not fair. These guys, he's got one hand on one of their heads and they're swinging and he's just...
He's like Shaq back in the day, right? Like when
Yes.
Shaq would just stand underneath the hoop and just
Like, imagine a team with Shaq playing Princeton, or find a well-known short school like Brown.
A well-known short.
short. What the fuck is a well-known short?
Never
school?
heard of
Exactly.
I've never heard that before. Ever.
Naturally short people. I always imagine they're more out in the West Coast or the East Coast. Excuse me.
Brown, okay.
Yeah, no, it's East Coast.
Yes.
You could tell I was never accepted into an Ivy League school.
this is what kept me out of the good schools.
Yeah.
So I
a
must
couple
add
different
a little funny.
answers on my test, I would have been right in.
Apparently, I got a text from the wife asking why I'm so angry tonight. It said, "What were you?"
You're always angry.
Your whole name is Angry Tacos. I mean,
Wait,
Yes.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, exactly. This is fun debating, man.
God,
Hey, we had
AJ.
no show sheet tonight. This is
Did
what
you
happens.
see how
Throw darts, baby.
he went from one side of the screen up, over, and then he had to follow his own finger to his
He's
name.
he's like playing Snake on the old Nokia.
Yes, dude. And it's like, dude, I think I
You know
just
what?
watched like a kid discover like their first apple. Like that was
Just because Tate asked. There you go.
Okay. God damn.
Go ahead, Josh. Just say that. Just say that, and it solves every argument.
Yeah, exactly. Who
No,
needs
I
Maple?
always got one thing to settle all arguments with our boy Tony there.
What's
Want to
that?
settle this over a game of Monopoly?
Tony can get on the Xbox, right? And we can play Monopoly, and he will virtually board flip. Like
every time.
Every time. It could be an hour in. It could be 10 minutes in. That board is getting flipped by Tony at some point, and it is on Xbox. He could flip the fucking Xbox for all we know.
See,
Could you
that's
imagine
why
if we
if
live
someone's
streamed it?
listening to this, if
Wait,
we could make a
what?
magnetic Monopoly board, we're game. Like
Hey,
nothing will fall off. We can just pop it right back up.
Josh,
Tony,
Tony
did-
brought up a great
Did
point.
you just say
We need a
live stream Monopoly, Tony?
stream Monopoly.
Oh boy.
We need to
Yeah.
set this up.
Yeah,
Did
live stream Monopoly so you
We'll-
can see the rage in person.
We'll get our Canadian friend in there.
We must have everybody. Yeah, we have to have everybody on the mic
He'll
though.
play.
This is not one of those one. You can hear one guy. We have to have all of our mics up and just hear
He said one
English.
computer, one guy.
Oh,
Yeah, but
it's-
you'd have to get permission for that because everybody knows that it has never. I'm not even going to say it hasn't happened well, or it never ends well for you, Tony.
It ultimately results with,
Ever.
I knew it.
One more thing on the whole basketball thing before we just move on and go to In the Rough. The comment that Embiid said that him and Harden can't do it alone.
Oh,
Just
Also,
wow.
Nice excuse.
also, big shout out to the San Antonio Spurs on being the winners of the Victor lottery.
No.
He will play 3 games and then get hurt. I'm telling you now, he is too tall.
So you're saying he's going to get Lamar Odom?
Zion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 7'5". Like,
Can we
again,
finally say Zion is a bust?
Yes.
I agree.
I said that after he got hurt the first time. I was like,
injury prone, not a bust, but he is injury prone.
How can you not call him a bust? He's played like 7 games his whole career.
He puts together top tier stats when he's healthy. The problem is he's never healthy more than 40 games a year.
Hang on, I'm trying to find something.
Hey, dude, laughing at something over there.
That's like saying the
1,
drunk guy in the
2,
corner
3.
is a drunk guy, but when he's sober that one day a year, he's really
I
on it.
understand. I understand.
It's
I know I
three.
put myself in a scenario by saying that. I'm just giving the point of his hype is, he's overrated by the time of the hype because every time you go to see him, he gets hurt for 20 games.
Hey, how about that? The worst record in the NBA is picking 5th.
That's bullshit. All right, I'm going to be straight up with you, NBA.
Hey.
Change your goddamn rules, would you?
Hey.
So you
brought
want
up
to
the
follow
Zion
more
thing.
football?
You brought the
Yeah.
Zion thing.
Yes.
That man in an 82-game season is averaging 38 games played a year in
That's
3
not-
seasons.
Said 40. That's close.
That's not bad. Your NBA playoff matchups for this round: Nuggets, Lakers, Heat, Celtics. Ryan, what's the score update in that Celtics Heat game?
Celtics are up at the half.
Well, very good.
I don't know by how much, but they're up.
I can't wait for Victor to play a rec game with Braun and get hurt from host of the season. Cough, cough, Chet Hall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the chat. Could I just say real quick, my NBA is lacking, but Jimmy Butler's my front runner for best player in the playoffs so far.
Did you hear what Charles Barkley said about? I think it was like someone got 78 stitches in hockey.
Yes. The 78 stitches in hockey. If that happened in basketball, they'd retire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic quote.
I love that
Fantastic.
Charles Barkley is still talking shit to this day. Like, I love it.
He loves his hockey too.
Yes, he does.
But it's just
Which is
great
awesome.
that because I remember I grew up with Charles Barkley like in the league in his prime. And he was the definition of the I'm not your hero, I'm not a role model kind of guys. Interesting enough, he was who they modeled Damon Wayans after in the movie Celtic Pride, was Charles Barkley. And now they've given him an open forum to talk all the shit that he wants. And I'm sorry, I'm loving every minute of it.
Loving every minute of it.
That commercial with him and with his old self. How many titles am I going to win? Oh, wait, I'll just wait and see how many I win.
So with everything going on, we're at an hour 8 in the show. We have 20 minutes left, give or take. Let's do a rapid fire in the rough. Ryan in the house as usual. Tony in the house. We got Tristan here in the house and Josh in the house tonight. Rapid fire in the rough. Ryan, who is in your rough?
Easy, Edmonton Oilers.
Tony,
Well
who is
said.
in your rough?
Gary Bettman, fuck him.
Tristan, who's in your rough? Who's pissed you off? You can say Dalton for all I care.
I'm gonna say the Dodgers. I don't know.
The Dodgers. The Dodgers are in your rough. How are the Dodgers? Wait a minute. How are the Dodgers doing this season?
Actually, pretty good. We started off horrible, then we came back. We are at the top of our stuff right now. We're the 3rd best team in baseball as we sit here. So, I'll
Okay,
take
Josh,
it.
who's in your rough?
I would have changed mine. Sorry.
Go ahead, Tony.
Please go first because I have one thing in mind.
Philadelphia 76ers. That's who's in my rough. For losing that game and then firing Doc Rivers.
Oh, you knew it was happening. Doc knew it was
That's-
happening. Doc said
that's-
it before the playoffs. It was happening.
That's a pile of bullshit.
Doc Rivers literally said, "If
Everybody
we don't win
knows.
this series, I'm fired."
Everybody knows that Embiid and Hardman lost that game, but yet they fired Doc Rivers, a proven champion with your Boston Celtics.
How long has he been in a coach in the league? Good God.
Doc Rivers has lost 10 straight clinching games.
I heard that too.
Sure, it's on Doc, not on Doc. I mean,
Charles Barkley better than San Antonio women.
oh. I did see the clip. You know what? Go ahead and say it. Yep, there it is. All right. My in the rough, I wanted to change it because I had it, originally by Pat McAfee. And I like the guy. You sold out.
What?
You went to ESPN.
Oh.
You sold out.
He was
You are now
on ESPN.
You are now part of the Disney. You're going to go PG. All your show of what it is going to be condensed. Congratulations. You have joined the good old corporation instead of being the guy. You are now part of the evil empire.
Dan Patrick's called it the mothership for all these years since he's been away from it. Okay. What if, Tony, and I don't know if it's happened yet. I don't know if he's had his first show yet. I'm curious to see when that happens. What if they do the show as he normally would and they just censor when it gets vulgar? I mean, what is the problem with that?
It takes away from the lore of what the show is.
But what if you still had the uncensored version on YouTube like there's been this whole time?
Would ESPN want that product out?
If it's on Pat McAfee's own channel, who gives a fiddler's fuck?
I'm just saying, in my opinion, I hope you're right. Like, please, I hope you're right. I'm just saying, like, I feel like Pat McAfee, I'm happy for him, but I feel like you've chosen a network that doesn't let. We all know how ESPN is. Does ESPN really let you go full blown to the wall how you want to act? No.
Pat McAfee, okay? Pat McAfee, punter in the league, has his money and all that, did all the WWE thing, went to College Game Day, this, that, the other. Was that Barstool too? Anyway.
Right.
Goes off, starts his own show. Arguably the best daily sports show we've had in the last 4 years since he's done this.
Yeah, he's a good show.
Easily.
For sure.
Go get your money, son. Go get your money.
Isn't that
Go
what
get
you're
paid.
He
aiming
got
for?
his bag. I just don't want the authenticity of how the show is, which is really like felt like it's. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying though? Like I don't want it to go there and then feel like it's a condensed version of what they are. Still
Tristan
be
looks
original.
like he's about to go sell me car insurance.
I'm telling you.
So wait a minute.
Or purchase
I'm
stuff.
actually-
Does this mean that Pat McAfee is done with WWE at this point?
At this point, yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he would do a spot on, like he might go to like a SummerSlam, WrestleMania.
And call a match?
Yeah, I mean he's not going back to SmackDown. That's for sure. Those days are done.
In my rough today is Maple Leaf fans because Toronto fans are cunts.
There it is. There it is.
Absolutely amazing.
God bless.
Ross Chastain's a good one too.
Yeah, he's a prick too.
I hate Ross.
Yeah, I think we all do right now. Let's do some picks. Anything you guys want to pick? Anything at all?
Yeah, Stanley Cup final predictions.
Vegas? Okay, sorry. I jumped the gun. Vegas, Florida. Ryan?
I would have to agree. At the beginning of the playoff, I said Dallas, but now we got a Dallas person. Vegas, Florida.
Tony?
Maple Leafs over Bruins at Pebble Beach. I'm sorry. I'm going. Thank you.
That was perfect for that right there.
Yeah, it really was. No,
Did we have Bedard or
Vegas.
Bedard? Go ahead, Tony. Oh, go ahead, bud.
Oh, look.
Bedard versus Matthews versus McDavid at St. Andrews.
Yes.
Wait, John. Keep pointing to the hat.
I thought you were doing that because you looked high as hell. He's just like,
What the hell? And Tony
No.
just from the top rope.
I know.
Look at that guy.
Bam. No,
He's on the devil let it down there.
the devil ladies. No,
I'm going with the 5th on that one. I would not do something like that. Don't do drugs, kids. You'll end up like the one in the corner right here.
Who are the Dallas Canes, Tate? The one in the corner.
I'm going Vegas over Dallas in 6. Sorry, Tristan. And I'm going to go with Florida over Carolina in 6.
Josh, who are you going with?
Not a fucking clue.
Okay. Tristan, who are you going with? 1 minute. Okay. All right. Oh, there
All
goes
right.
Tristan.
There goes.
Wait, Josh, you screwed up on something.
Oh,
Jesus.
but I did.
Connor Bedard in 1. You had the joke right there. And you had it.
Well, I would have it there if it was funny.
Oh. Well, nards.
So, well, with Tristan being gone, NBA Finals picks. I will take Boston and Denver. Ryan?
Boston, Denver, too.
Josh?
Boston, Denver.
Tony? Oh,
Boston
Tony.
Lakers.
Yeah, there he is. An asshole.
He's
Just
always
such a-
LeBron fulfills his legacy and wins a title.
Killing me.
Second best player of all time behind Michael Jordan. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Fuck you.
Adam's
Matthew
prediction
shoots
is
10
Matthew
over par.
shoots 10 over par golfing this weekend.
Yeah, he probably will. And then just have like a face and go Justin Bieber to a concert and act like nothing's wrong.
He won't score at all, actually, because he didn't during that round.
He didn't.
Okay, Tristan, we are asking your NHL and NBA final picks. So go ahead.
I do want to say Stars, but I'm gonna go Vegas
Don't
and
do that.
Florida. Yes.
Don't
here's
go get
why.
your team.
Hold on.
Go your team.
Hold on. I was
Go your route.
on my way home, and I thought about it. That Vegas seems really good. I mean, Jack Eichel is impressive. But that
So
whole
is
team,
my team. So is Edmonton. What's your point?
Well, I mean, they were.
Right. Past tense. Your
I mean-
team is now fulfill your destiny.
I want them to because I'm trying to go to a parade. Okay, the last time
I thought it was already planned.
Yeah, right.
in my
Did you
mind,
say that?
in my heart, it's planned.
The route is already
Hey, you
there.
already have a lawn chair in the spot that you plan on parking your car to make sure that no one takes it.
I do actually.
Of
In the middle of
course you
downtown
do.
Dallas, it is parked. It's parked right there.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna go Denver and the Celtics.
So we all
Wow,
have the
very
same
unique.
finals pick, except for Tony, who just had to be different.
Lakers.
I'm a LeBron
LA,
fan.
baby. Yep.
He can't do it by himself. He cannot do it by himself anymore.
I
Listen.
Can't do it with a team either, but you know.
I just want to see the hate go flowing through you guys if they reach the finals and how pissed you're going to be having to see LeBron do it again.
Enough to
It'd be
drive
cool.
out to Detroit, knock on your door. When you open it, we just sack punch you.
If you give me a coffee and a high five afterwards, I'll take it.
You'll take a sack punch for a cup of coffee and a high five. AJ, we already know where the measuring stick is, so let's go.
Oh man! So those are our picks for the week. Coming up next is something that I also don't have a topic for. The 5, the 4, the 3, the 2,
The
however
5
many
this
we have
week.
here. It's the 5 this week. We
Yeah.
finally have 5 of us back again. What do you guys want to be a topic? Let's go to chat. Let's go to chat for once.
That's right.
I like
Chat,
that.
who do you want to be? What do you want our topic to be? We have to pick our favorite of this. Go ahead and comment a topic. While we do that, I do want to thank Tristan, Josh, Tony for coming on. Appreciate y'all for being here.
Absolutely.
I really thought that after I would thank you guys, I would have something up in the comments, and I don't.
Nice.
Ryan, thank you and your bald head for joining us today.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about the reflection, guys.
It has been very blinding.
I almost
now
had
I
to
know
wear
why-
shades.
I know why Cody wears sunglasses now on this show.
That's right.
Well, I always kind of looked at it as because he's probably darting between all of us, because he's got to keep his eye on all of us specifically,
Especially that
looking
Maple
for that.
Leaf of Hanover.
Hey,
Looking
I
for
don't
that
want to feel
next best
fat, but
story.
can I throw a topic out?
No,
Oh God! Oh good God! What?
Memorial Day is next weekend. On the 5, your favorite go-to barbecue food.
Oh, I like it.
Yes.
I actually like that.
Thank you.
Tony, since you're the fat one here, go ahead.
All right. Well,
That was amazing. I think he was
It really
talking about
is.
for next week.
you know what? Well, we don't know. So that's why I'm just throwing it out there now, fishing for ideas. Anyway, so
Screw it.
I pulled pork. I love me some good old pulled pork. I don't know how, whatever you want to how to
I
design
bet
it.
you do.
Pulled pork is the
You
bomb.
pulled
I
on
love
pork.
the good old pulled pork.
Yeah, he likes to eat pulled pork while he's pulling his pork.
Oh.
You know. Wait, no. Hold on.
Where's
There we
the
Ryan, what is your
barbecue ribs, man?
barbecue?
Get some ribs going Memorial Day weekend. Couple cocktails, baked potato, all set.
Puking on the ferns,
Yeah, that's right.
flicking
through the-
grandma off.
Going through the cornfields.
Oh, we got plenty of those out here.
That's right.
We'll go back to that one, Tate. We'll bring that one up here in a second. Josh,
Ooh.
what is your barbecue food of choice for Memorial Day?
Oh man, T-bones,
Okay.
porterhouses.
Damn.
Just a steak
Damn.
guy and a bloomin'
Yes.
onion. You're going to Outback,
No.
aren't you?
No blooming
Damn, big-
onion, some
Yeah.
mashed potatoes, and
Mashed
anything
taters.
anything with bacon crumbled up on top of it.
Ooh.
You
Just amazing.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Sounds
maybe some crumbled blue cheese on top of the steak with bacon crumbles on it, with homemade A1 sauce. Damn it! Now I'm hungry again.
I was gonna say
Yeah, I know.
next,
You're like, God
next on
damn
Gamers
it.
Do Sports, cooking
Gosh,
with Josh.
Tristan, what is your go-to Memorial Day food?
I'm a brisket guy, man. Just a big brisket. Shit, I'm all over it.
Brisket's
Really?
Yeah.
How do you prepare it?
I don't cook it.
Of course you don't.
I'm
goes-
still kinda new
He
to
goes to the
bar-
Arby's, bro. He gets the brisket sandwich.
How does your woman cook it?
Well, she don't cook.
And how the fuck you gonna get brisket?
Bro, them
You're the
DoorDash people
Snoop
cooking
Dogg
the
of
best.
Memorial Day. You
Thank
just
God.
pop up, hang out, eat, and leave.
Exactly. All right. You invite me over. I eat all of your food, all your beers gone, and I come home and take a nap.
Oh
Great to
my
know.
God.
Adam with the comment of this topic. After 12 beers, I'll eat
Fair.
anything.
I bet he would.
I kind of feel the same way. No, listen, I get a combo on my plate because if we're talking just the cookout for Memorial Day, you will find two things on my plate every time, and it's a glizzy and it's a cheeseburger.
Attaboy. The
I
glizzy
mean,
gobbler.
it is the staple.
The glizzy gobbler himself.
Listen, I'm not okay. Hot dogs. Not a fan of boiled hot dogs. But if
Mm-mm.
you throw them sons of bitches on a grill, I will eat
Hell
them.
Yeah,
I'm
grilled
all over
hot dogs are
Cows
awesome.
come home. I will keep eating those things as long as there is a hot dog there. I will eat it if it's off the grill.
Also,
like them
chili dog.
Chili,
guys
chili-
You know what I
chili
actually
dogs?
like doing is when you put them on the grill, split them.
Yeah. It
Split
doesn't
them so
yeah.
they actually sit flat on the grill.
yeah.
Because you'll get good grill marks and you'll prevent the blistering.
See, I don't mind the blistering though.
No, but if
I
you
do.
have it flat,
Yeah.
it'll coat, it'll go across rather than in condensed spots where the flame hits.
But it's like little juice pockets. It's great.
It's like Josh knows something about cooking.
Treading
Just a
on
little
light water or light ice there.
Hey, I know
um,
what Josh is cooking. He's talking about T-bones earlier, all right? I know he knows how to cook.
I'm sure he's gonna be T-boning something later.
Wow.
Wow.
What? What? You guys have dirty minds.
I do. I mean, yeah.
Good God,
No,
no!
it's a family program.
Pud.
The family program.
Speaking of T-bone,
Family
what about
program.
Memorial Weekend Racing?
Tate wants to know. Tate says, I say in the Memorial Day weekend, what races do you watch on Sunday? That for me, I try to get up as early as I can to watch Monaco, and then at noon it's the Indy 500 and then the Coke 600. But generally, I sleep right through the Monaco Grand Prix. Ryan, you're a big race fan in here.
Yes.
Are you the same?
I like the Monaco track. There's just no passing, so I normally skip that. But I do watch Indy and the Coca-Cola 600.
Monaco's great just for the scenery. I don't even
Yes.
care
Amen.
who
Yes.
wins. Like I'm not there for the race. I'm just there for the scene of it.
There's a couple turns on that track at Monaco that I like. It's like just a camera shot. Just it looks awesome as they're going down the hill and everything.
Yep.
It's just breathtaking.
That first turn, just perfect. Tristan, another big
That's a
race
tradition.
fan in here.
Like, yes, sir.
Are you watching all three on Memorial Day?
No, I'm Indy and then Coke 600, and that's it. I can't sit through.
I like how we're sitting here talking about like Memorial Day, like it's like next week.
I know it's pissing me off because I just realized I got to go through another week of work before I get to enjoy that.
Right? Tate, good point. Monaco's a nostalgia. Tony,
Can I just say, I used to want to watch the Indianapolis 500 most years growing up, but now I'm more casual. If it's on kind of racing. But I don't know. It's a good day for racing fans, though. You can't really complain either way.
Are you going to watch Coke 600 this year, Tony?
All of it, no. But on some of it, yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you for not watching all of it. It's the longest fucking race.
No, and that's the thing. I with NASCAR, I'm very selective. I will fully admit that when it comes to like racing and when to watch, but the big races I tend to watch. Coca-Cola 600 is a little too long for me. I will probably tune in a little bit, but not the whole thing.
I get that. Josh, you gonna watch any race in that Sunday?
I'll probably watch the Indy 5. I've been out there a few times when they actually had it, and very, very big race in Indy. I will tell you that they go ham out there for that.
It's like
so
a week
even
long
if you're
party,
not a
isn't it?
race fan. Oh yeah, and even if you're not a race fan, you can't help but kind of get into the vibe of everything. So I'll probably check it out. This will be the first time I'll actually watch the race. You know, I'm kind of holding vendetta against each and every one of you because slowly you have me watching racing more and more.
Well, that's not a bad thing, Josh.
No,
It's not a bad thing, man.
We're creeping up that Chicago race.
If it wasn't for you guys, I've never seen a race up until we started doing this podcast, and you had me start watching.
But that's still not a bad thing. You've actually enjoyed racing. Like, don't you want to go to Chicago?
Yeah, because I think that'd be badass.
It is a good time in person. I do enjoy going to races and everything, so that's pretty nice.
What track you been to?
Thank you again.
I've only been to Texas, but I'm going to Bristol in September.
Enjoy Bristol. Great. Oh man, I can't speak for AJ, but
Ryan,
damn, is that place awesome?
Asking you about your seats. I promise.
No, I won't ask anything about that. I won't ask about how the view is. Can you send pictures our way?
Okay.
And they can do that on their own.
Time out. What about the beer prices? Come on.
Prices.
The beer prices.
Yeah.
Beer prices ain't bad.
How's traffic?
I can't say anything because I have had my friends that go to shows that I end up not going to send me pictures of the merch stand because I want to see what they got there.
I mean, that's not wrong. I'll do the same thing for some things.
And these days, you got PayPal or Venmo the money. If so, hey man, can you pick me up something? Here's some money. Boom.
I got a question for all of you. Anybody got any concerts coming up this summer?
No.
Yes, I'm actually trying. I'm going to Blink.
You're going to
Blink 182.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to Offspring, Simple Plan, and Sum 41.
There you go. That's cool.
They got a it's a festival
cheaper by the dozen too soundtrack. Good God.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
And
I'm
they got
also
a festival
going to
coming out with.
I'm going to see Avenged.
Of course.
Nice.
They're finally coming back.
To be determined. I don't leave my house, so we'll see.
Shocker.
I'm going to see Disturbed and Ginger and Breaking Benjamin.
Ginger's awesome.
Really good. I like them.
Yes, they are.
And
that's the whole reason I agreed to get the tickets were because of Ginger. I want to see them live. I've already seen Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin a handful of times. What about you, AJ? Are you going anywhere?
Nope. I went to mine for the year.
That's it.
Morgan
Wallen
ago.
That's it.
Yep.
I might be going to a concert on Saturday.
Aim higher.
Oh.
Where at?
What Saturday?
OTOP at the Diesel. We might go to that.
Very nice.
Yes. Up in the air right now, but talking to a buddy of mine that's going, so might hitch a ride out with him.
Not bad.
Look at you.
Not bad.
Instead of asking people
What a
how their
boy.
seats are, you're going to be telling people
Yeah,
how
I'm going
your
to show you
seats
how my
are.
seats are.
My
Fucking
seats look
A.
great.
Look at his view.
All right.
It's a good
We've-
view.
We've got about 45 seconds left. Let's take a look in at our donations here. Oh, shit. We're minus 742 this week.
Uh-oh.
We keep
Good
owing
luck,
people.
guys.
Is that the bill to keep the lights on around here?
It might be.
How do we owe people on donations?
Yeah, I got a screaming kid, so I'm gonna have to dip in a minute.
Tony, give your social media stuff and you can head on out.
At Angry Tacos Network, I'm a cunt, and that would be it.
I love that.
Love you guys.
We love it. We love you, Tony.
Great.
Fantastic.
That was great.
Josh.
Fantastic.
Josh, go ahead, buddy.
I am on hiatus from social media sites, so I will update you guys in the coming weeks on where you can find me on the socials.
Nice. Tristan, thanks for coming on, buddy.
You're welcome. You're welcome, man. I appreciate y'all inviting me on and everything. It was a good time.
It's like you popped in like the step kid that only shows up once in a while.
But I'm your favorite step kid, Josh.
We
He's the
tell
favorite
you,
one.
we
I'm your
tell
favorite
you
one.
you're our favorite, but you know,
Oh my god.
we miss Geraldo.
He's missing again this week. Throw tomatoes at him. Ryan, where can people find you at?
On Twitter, rruncola88.
All right, you can find this podcast now on different podcast platforms, all your favorites, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, you name it, it's pretty much on it. iHeartRadio, Pandora, all that good stuff. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and naturally here on YouTube at Gamers Do Sports. Thanks to everybody who came out in the chat tonight. Thank you guys for coming on. You can find me at One Lug TV, but make sure you follow our Gamers Do Sports channels. Adam says, one more final remarks. Powerade is better than Gatorade. Good night. I'm going to remove everybody from here except for Tony's screen for a couple seconds. I'm going to play the outro. We'll see you next week. We're out.